Joe Madison joins us now. He's a civil rights activist who hosts the radio show The Black Eagle on Sirius XM satellite radio. What was the tipping point that got Trump to finally change his mind? It was a different scene 24 hours ago, and then this quick turnaround early in the day.
I think the tipping point were working people. I think the tipping point was the fact that we, in the United States, we have major events that's taking place. For example, the Super Bowl is going to be within a week or so. There'll be 130,000 people who will be flying out of Hartford Jackson Airport, the largest in the country. And I know on my show, we had encouraged TSA workers not to have a sick out on Monday. And that would have been chaotic. I think when you looked at today, flights were piling up on the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and then 14,000 Internal Revenue Service workers refused to show up. So they couldn't process tax returns. But the sad thing is, what most people need to understand around the planet is there's nothing new. And this was an agreement could have been signed a month ago. The problem is the wall. He insists on what some people have said is a third-century solution to a 21st century problem.
So what happens in the next 3 weeks?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what I think is going to happen, and that is this, that there will be honest negotiations for legitimate immigration laws, and that's all people want. But I think what's going to happen is folks will go back to work, and then at the end of 3 weeks, if he does not have an agreement that he wants, and by the way, he won't get it, he's going to declare a national emergency. And he's going to take the money from the Department of Defense, take the money from this position, that position, and then he's going to say to people, I've gotten a wall. But as your correspondent pointed out, he won't be able to spend it because there will be immediate legal challenges, because what he's going to have to file is a proclamation, an executive order. And as most legal experts have said, it won't be worth the paper it's written on.
What are your listeners saying? What have you been hearing the last day or so?
Let me tell you, they are absolutely livid. They're absolutely upset. Most of the country, matter of fact, the President Trump has the lowest ratings right now, and they're declining. I think it's down to 35, 32%. And most of them are saying shutting down the government, everything from not being able to pick up trash in our national parks, to shutting down the zoos, to not functioning air traffic controllers. Do you know we actually had air traffic controllers that were sleeping in their cars because they did not have enough money to pay for gasoline to go back and forth to work, and they were sleeping in their cars. They were driving Ubers in order to make up for the income they've lost. There are contract workers for the government who will never recoup the money that they lost because they simply are out of that money. And then to have the President of the United States yesterday, and this might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, as they said, when he suggested as if that people can go to the grocery store and get credit. We don't have these kind of neighborhood grocery stores in the United States anymore. And then to have Wilbur Ross suggest, well, just go get a loan, only to find out his credit union company charges 9% interest. It was like, let them eat cake.
Right.
And I think that's what did it.
Joe Madison, great to hear your thoughts. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.